Good day, friends. Let's take a thoughtful stroll around the world today, touching on some of the stories shaping lives and futures across continents. First, there's an intriguing move from China that signals a growing embrace of Latin America. Starting June 1st, citizens from Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Peru, and Uruguay will be able to step foot in China without the usual visa hurdles, opening a window for tourism, business, and cultural exchange for a whole year-long pilot program. This isn't just an administrative change, it's a clear invitation, a handshake extended across oceans, suggesting a new chapter of closer ties and mutual curiosity. The allure of Chinese culture, from its ancient civilization to its cuisine and architectural marvels, has long captivated many in Latin America. Now, with the visa waived, this fascination can blossom into more frequent visits and rich personal exchanges. Economically, it's a nod to the Belt and Road Initiative, with these South American nations already linked to China's ambitious plans. So, the practical benefits of easier travel ripple through tourism and commerce, but there's also an unspoken soft power strategy. This is about people-to-people diplomacy, about drawing hearts closer through genuine experience and connection. Seen in this light, it feels less like a policy and more like a grand invitation to explore, learn, and grow together. Meanwhile, in a very different corner of the world, tensions are tense, but talks are still happening. Ukrainian and Russian representatives have gathered in Istanbul for peace negotiations, even as the top leaders remain apart, with President Putin declining a direct meeting with President Zelensky. This shows the complex dance of diplomacy. Sometimes lower-level talks keep the door ajar when the big players step back. It's a reminder that peace is often not a dramatic headline, but a painstaking process with incremental, often unseen steps. The stakes couldn't be higher for the region or the world, and every conversation carries weight. It's a moment to remember how fragile and precious dialogue is in the face of conflict. Back in Europe, Germany has recently tightened its border security, and the numbers tell their own story. With a 45% increase in people being turned away after enhanced police checks, this signals a nation grappling with complex migration dynamics and security concerns. Borders have always been more than lines on a map. They are the threshold of identity, safety, and policy. The heightened controls reflect broader government efforts to balance openness with regulation, to protect while managing the movement of people in an era of global uncertainty. This is not just about enforcement, but about shaping how nations define themselves in a globalized world. Similarly, the United Kingdom is exploring new measures addressing rejected asylum seekers by proposing return hubs in other countries. This idea, still under negotiation, raises many questions about human rights, international cooperation, and the responsibility of nations to migrants in limbo. It's a challenging balance, how to be fair, efficient, and humane all at once when lives hang in the balance. These hubs are more than logistical solutions. They are a reflection of global migration politics and the search for solutions that respect dignity while managing borders. On the defense front, NATO is stirring a serious conversation about spending, prompted by a push from the United States for member countries to dedicate 5% of their GDP to defense. This call highlights the ongoing concerns about global security amid shifting alliances and emerging threats. Defense budgets are not just numbers. They reflect priorities, trust among allies, and readiness for an uncertain future. Such a demand has the power to reshape economies and politics in NATO countries, reminding us that security often demands sacrifice and deep commitment. In North America, a more immediate but equally daunting challenge has emerged with a growing measles outbreak in Alberta. Health officials in both Canada and the US are sounding alarms, calling for increased vaccination efforts. In an age where medical advances let us prevent such diseases, outbreaks are stark reminders that vigilance in public health cannot waver. This situation underscores the vital role of vaccines in protecting communities and the ongoing effort to overcome misinformation and complacency. It's a call to action that touches us all, because infectious diseases respect no border or boundary. And then, the world's gaze is once again drawn to the volatile and tragic situation between Israel and Gaza. Recent Israeli strikes have inflicted heavy casualties, over 100 lives lost, and deepened the humanitarian crisis. Behind every number is a story of suffering and hope, and the cycle of violence continues to weigh heavily on the people caught in its crossfire. It's a conflict marked by profound complexity, history, and heartbreak that demands our attention, not just as distant observers, but as empathetic human beings. Any path forward requires courage, compassion, and a deep commitment to peace amid anguish. So, when you step back and reflect on these stories, what stands out is their interconnectedness. the dance of diplomacy in Istanbul, the open doors between continents, the guarded borders of Germany and the UK, the collective defense of NATO members, the urgent call to health in Alberta, and the ongoing strife in the Middle East. Each piece tells a larger tale about how our world is navigating challenges and opportunities, fears and hopes. Thank you for joining me on this journey of insight today. If you found this take enlightening, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's build this conversation together. For links and more details, check the description below. And don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments. I'm eager to hear your perspective. Until next time, stay curious and engaged.